So I'm here to let you know that who's your enemy? Joe Biden is your enemy. If you are middle class, if you are working class, if you are liberal, conservative, progressive, even if you're just a Democrat, Joe Biden is your enemy. What do you mean? I thought Biden is a good Democrat. You ever see this headline? Did you know Joe Biden endorsed Republican Congressman Fred Upton in his reelection? Mr. Biden stunned Democrats and elated Republicans by praising Mr. Upton while the lawmaker looked on from the audience, alluding to Mr. Upton's support for a landmark medical research law. Mr. Biden called him a champion in the fight against cancer and one of the finest guys I ever worked with. Mr. Biden's remarks, coming amid a wide-ranging discourse on American politics, quickly appeared in Republican advertising. The local Democratic Party pleaded with Mr. Biden to repair what it saw as a damaging error. On November 6th, Mr. Upton defeated his Democratic challenger by 4.5 percentage points. That wasn't the distant past. That wasn't in a safe blue or a red state. This was 2018 in the swing state of Michigan during the midterms when Trump is president, the state that Hillary Clinton lost to Trump. And Joe Biden is there working against Democrats. Eric Lester, a retired physician who chaired the Democratic Party in Barron County, Michigan during the midterms, said he viewed Mr. Biden's supportive remarks about Mr. Upton as a betrayal. Mr. Lester, who attended the speech, said he had confronted an aide to Mr. Biden in the hallway, telling him the former vice president had badly damaged the Democratic cause. It just gives Fred Upton cover and makes it possible for him to continue to pretend to be a useful, bipartisan fellow, Mr. Lester recalled saying, adding, I entered the hall with positive feelings about Mr. Biden and felt very frustrated. The Republican used Joe Biden's endorsement in his campaign against the Democrat running that year. Biden endorsed the Republican who wrote the bill to repeal the Affordable Care Act. This Republican narrowly won against the Democrat that year. Long John, meanwhile, said he was dismayed that Biden clapped Mr. Upton on the back in an establishment political way, and that when his campaign reached out to Biden for an explanation, there was nothing but silence. Why would Joe Biden do that? I'll tell you why. Why would Joe Biden endorse a Republican who wrote the bill to repeal the ACA? Because he was getting paid. Biden went to Michigan to help keep Republicans in power, and he did it for money. You can buy Joe Biden for $200,000. In the speech delivered for $200,000 fee at Lake Michigan College, Biden described Upton, a long-serving congressman and co-author of the 2017 bill to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Biden referred to that guy as one of the finest guys I've ever worked with. Biden, whose eldest son, Beau, died of brain cancer in 2015, also called Upton the reason we're going to beat cancer, ostensibly for his work to fund cancer research. Both statements soon appeared in pro-Upton mailers, and Upton referred to the praise in a debate with his opponent, Matt Longjohn. and they say Bernie Sanders is not a team player? What kind of Democrat goes to a swing state to get Republicans elected? I'll tell you, the kind the Democrat establishment will move heaven and earth for to make them their nominee for president. Because the two-party duopoly has made you a prisoner. Establishment Democrats don't care that Joe Biden will do for Trump in 2020 what he did for Fred Upton in 2018, get them reelected. Let's hide our heads in the ground and pretend Biden can defeat Trump. Let's pretend Joe Biden isn't going senile. Let's pretend Joe Biden doesn't sexual assault staffers. Let's pretend. Even still, Joe Biden's entire political career should disqualify him from getting your vote. Joe Biden won't work with progressives. Joe Biden says he will veto Medicare for all. Joe Biden votes for the Iraq War. Joe Biden writes the crime bill. Joe Biden writes the Patriot Act. Joe Biden passes NAFTA. Joe Biden pushes the TPP. Joe Biden tries to cut Social Security. Joe Biden was against marriage equality. Joe Biden makes bankruptcy impossible for working people. Joe Biden is being accused of rape, and Joe Biden is corrupt. Joe Biden is your enemy. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?